Okay, here we are. We're off to the races again, and that's it. We just wanted to show up and record something, and this is officially it. So we're done. No, I'm kidding. But on the as real as it gets, that was the goal. That was the fundamental goal, was to simply make the second video. So as long as this gets posted, that's a success. Because if you watch the first one from yesterday, the goal of that video was if not now, but when, right? Meaning that if you don't make the thing, if you don't do the thing now, you're probably never going to do it. I mean, unless it actually takes months, like to do the one thing, and it does not take months to make one video. You can make a video in a matter of minutes. So cheers to that. But I did want to kind of talk a little more because I want to make this video about something. So I wanted to make this video about what to do after you said I'm going to do it now. Once you've realized that if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. Next, am I good enough? Will they like it? Will they receive it? Which is a very valid question to ask. Because in the performing arts, it's you can have so much fun in what you're doing, but if the people on the other side of it don't resonate with it, if they don't want more of it, then it's pointless. Well, that's the beautiful thing about it, is you're doing it for you don't know why you're doing it. You just gotta do it. Um, but yeah, and I also wanted to point out that none of this is like figured out. There's some ideas. There's a couple of notes. But I played with some backgrounds. We had a little gray thing here. The gray thing's gone. Some different lighting. There's no way to figure it out ahead of time. If you're still listening up till this point, turn on the camera. Put yourself in front of the camera, start talking. Whatever it looks like, you're not supposed to know what it's supposed to look like. You might know what it's supposed to feel like, so lead with that, what it feels like on the inside, and just keep going with it. Um, Now, I shared a little bit about myself in the one before, which was that I am an actor. I studied acting. I have a bachelor's in acting. Um, I've had a couple television appearances, but that's the whole reason why I did this. Was I was tired of doing so many self tapes, but then being bounded by what those casting directors said, like, oh, you cannot post this clip online because it's confidential material. So I said, screw it. I'm still going to keep doing my acting because I absolutely love that. There's so much value in living someone else's experiences and telling that story, but there's also so much value in this, in me sharing, I think, just Rohan, where I am at as a person, because I think and I for so long I wanted to share that, um, but it's different when you're playing a role. There's parts of yourself you can bring to the role, but there's parts of yourself that are not necessarily a part of the character. So and also, I think that every 20, 30 years or so, there's an industry shift. And I think that around 2019, going into the pandemic, something very interesting happened in the movie world and the TV world. And I think it was with the release of Joker. The Joaquin Phoenix Joker in 2019, I think, was a pivot point in the industry where, yes, you're going to see these group stories, group dramas, but it shifted to the individual experience and a microscopic view into what is the deep daily life of a human being. What are those struggles, those traumas, those mental demons? And I think Joaquin Phoenix and Joker explored that quite perfectly. And so I think that, along with TikTok, pioneered this like individual thing where people just wanted to be entertained, but they also just wanted to see a slice of someone else's life, whether it's them talking, whether it's them going through their day and telling you what they do on a minute to minute basis. I think there's so much value in that shift, in the fact we are shifting to the individual experience and wanting to watch the individual experience on a big stage. Um, and so that should be permission to anyone out there who's saying, should I do this? You most certainly should. because the whole world is not going to want to watch you. Billions of people are not going to want to watch you, but I guarantee that there will be a select group of people out there that do, that flock to the content, that they want to see your content. For me, like I've talked about, I'm 23 right now, 23 with a couple acting credits under my belt. I look up to other actors who are older than me who have way more acting credits. But if there was a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old who is saying, do I want to do this in college? Maybe they could take something from this video, just like I am actively looking at those other actors who've booked more than me. But you should never like put yourself on such a scale where it's like, oh, they're better than me, they're not better than me. We're all equal at the end of the day. We are all so equal. I'm still a student, but I'm also a professional. And if I didn't say this in the last video, um, a great teacher once told me that you always want to be half a curious student and also a confident artist, because you can't act like you have it all figured out, but you also can't act like you're just always, like open. You need to have some balance of I'm going to explore, but I also know what the hell I'm doing. And I think that's something that some actors struggle with, because it's a contradiction. It's a contradiction to walk into a room and say, I know nothing, while also saying, I know what the fuck I'm doing. And I think that is the beauty of acting. That's the beauty of art, is so much of it is a contradiction. That's why you can't theorize everything. That's why I drive myself crazy sometimes. I love writing. I love a good fountain pen. I love trying to write out everything, write out all the possibilities. It could go this way, that way, or that way. When in reality, there's no way to know how it's going to go. How can you know how it's going to go? That's the beauty of it. I think this one might be a lot shorter. Last time I spoke for about 20 minutes, but that's because I think I had more. I think that's where I put it. And as always, I like to come back to some sort of a general summary, or just the things that stick out to me. And first off, once again, if not now, then when? But also, do it. Do it because it's not really about you. Because you're running the race, but people can watch you running your race, and then they'll say, okay, I can run mine better. Thank you to the runner who went ahead of me. Yes, it's great to be here. It's really great to just to share this, and I don't mean this in a selfish way, but I do this for me, because I want to show up to the camera, show up to the stage, because in the course of art, in the course of making work, you can get out of it very easy. You can get rusty. And I really like this idea of staying with it, and not ever disappearing. I think people and artists too, they sometimes want to just disappear and come back when they've created the masterpiece. But I found that approach was not working. Granted, if you want to take a writer's retreat, go book yourself a hotel, get some good writing, I could support that. But I don't think like removing yourself for like months on end to like hammer out this great artistic idea and put yourself through some pain, I think that is a great final takeaway. Let me share this with you. It doesn't have to make you go through mental gymnastics and like go take yourself to the ends of the earth for you to consider it a success, right? Sometimes it really is that hard. You're trying something, it's not working. So you try one thing, you try another thing, you start going crazy. Is this going to work? Sometimes it requires that, like the invention of the light bulb, the invention of the telephone, going at it, refinement, refinement. But I think in art, this torture culture does not need to exist. Push yourself, work hard, be disciplined, but you don't need to torture yourself. And I want to share that for anyone out there. That's something I would have told myself a few years ago. Work hard, but don't make it harder than necessary. Show up, and that'll be good. Cheers.